This is Ruben Lowing. It's Saturday afternoon here in McAllen, Texas. This is my Saturday leadership call. I'm going to talk about a leadership strategy termed the velvet glove. And it's think of a velvet glove, and if it's used gently, it feels really good, right? But if you were to strike somebody wearing a velvet glove, it would impact so much harder than without it, okay? And kind of reminds me of Jordan Peterson's talking about the Bible verse that says the meek shall inherit the earth. He just didn't think that set right, and so he looked up the meaning in Hebrew for meek, and it was men who carried swords but kept them in their sheaths. In other words, they had the potential to they weren't to be trifled with, they weren't to be pushed around. And so that's kind of what it is. And I can think of in the SEAL teams, young guys kind of like to scrap, the younger SEALs, right? But after a while that kind of wears on you. You're like, I didn't like how things turned out that last time. I'm not going to do that again. And you start avoiding situations that might have a situation happening. And then in the SEAL teams, everybody is a badass. Right? You don't, I remember seeing these two guys, my executive officer, Duke Leonard, he was yoked, he got 2 silver stars in Vietnam, and he's standing there next to Master Chief Fritch, who's another big yoked guy. If the U.S. Olympics wouldn't have got canceled in 1980, the U.S. bobsled team would have been 4 Navy SEALs and 1 Navy diver, and Master Chief Fritch was one of them, and he's also a Vietnam vet. And just 2 amazing specimens, and they're having this intellectual conversation about having a GMT on how the correct way to fill out a travel claim, and they're just, it was amazing to me, right? There's no bullies in the SEAL teams because everybody's a tough guy. Okay, and so I knew guys. Dave Piana literally had the most confirmed kills in Vietnam with his bare hands. Was the nicest guy, of course, unless you got drinking or you got uppity with him, and he would take care of you. But usually he was the nicest, jovial guy you'd ever know, right? And that whole leadership strategy of praise in public and reprimand in private was pretty much the way things went. Okay, and it goes over better, and people are more apt to take the correction when you take the time to take them aside and to give them that correction. They're less apt to be defensive or they don't have to save face because they're just you and them. All right, and they're not embarrassed. I mean, they might be a little embarrassed, but they're not embarrassed in front of everybody. Okay, but when they do something right, and I've seen magic happen when that happens. Somebody, once they they start showing initiative, right? They start, getting out there and talking to people and getting in, creating interest, and it's, the odds are they're they're going to stumble on somebody, right? And they start using the right words. They start speaking correctly, listening more. All the things that you want them to do, you recognize. Okay, do all the things that you want them to do. When they do it, you get all over that. Okay, so identify what it is about them, something about them that you can legitimately recognize and comment on, compliment them on, and you watch. They'll love you after that. Okay, and if they don't do, and if they're slow to move, it's okay. You keep promoting, you keep encouraging, right? And eventually they'll engage. There's some reason that people they don't immerse themselves in the community. They don't immerse themselves with the information. They don't immerse themselves in the culture. They're avoiding that for a reason. It's unusual. It's different than everybody else does. Everybody else, no jobs like that. I mean, in the SEAL teams, they used to have a kegger on Fridays, right? And that's where everybody got rapport, let their hair hang down. It wasn't, rank didn't really matter that much at the Friday kegger, right? And people got to know each other and develop that rapport, and that's part of it. Okay, and people, when they can tell you really want to, you really want to know them, then get to know them. They like that, right? They can tell you, you care enough about them to want to know more about them. Okay, and so that's my interpretation of velvet glove leadership. All right, have a great day.